You live in Verdon.
Yes.
So you are one of the families that we talk about where if this had happened and you lived in some other place or we didn't have St. John's Children's Hospital here, your next option would be to completely disrupt your family and your lives.
Right.
And have to move practically to another city.
Especially for 4 months. Luckily, my mom lives up here in Springfield because I didn't even want to be a half hour away from the girls. So I pretty much moved in with my mom again for 4 months. And my husband, he stayed as much as possible. He was working and going to school at the time and stuff. And we are just so thankful that this is close enough that we have family right here. And even if we didn't, I could have drove back and forth from Burton, but I didn't want to. But just to be able to be here, otherwise we probably would have been down in St. Louis. And my husband wouldn't have been with me.
Yeah.
So.
And every time we talk to you, all 3 years, and whether it's been, you at the DBR studios or here at the Radiothon, you've always had this tone of, we just feel so lucky that this hospital is here.
We are. It's just, we still come up here for therapy. They've had surgeries over the years, and we're able to do it right here. It's so much easier than having to leave and go somewhere else. And it just is a lot easier, especially when you have two of them, and sometimes you have to leave one at home and bring the other one in. It's nice to be able to be back home with the other child that night because they're already upset that they know their sister's in the hospital for something else. And
what was it like the day that you were able to take the girls from NICU home to Verdon?
Luckily, we were able to take them both at the same time, and I was so excited. I was here first thing in the morning, and my husband took off work that day, and we waited, and that night we were able to bring them home. And it was just, I remember my mother-in-law was here. She was taking pictures of us in the car because we were finally going home and stuff. It was just, it was the happiest thing.
How many months total?
4 months. We were 1 day short of 4 months. The
I
girls
can't
were born,
imagine.
Yeah, they were born January 28th, and we came home May 27th.
That was a long wait.
Yes.
In the beginning, did you envision that day that you would be able to walk out?
I was so stressed, and they were so tiny, and Jenna got sick early on, so even a couple months in, we didn't know if she was going to make it. And the nurses, as time went by, the nurses and doctors started realizing, yes, they are going to go home with us and stuff, and they were telling us that, eventually they're going to get bigger, they're going to go home, and then they're going to start, everything will be just, you and your kids and all that, and it was hard to believe, and then when it finally did happen,
so now having them run around and getting into trouble, there's a blessing behind that.
I call my mom, and I'll be like, Mom, listen to what they did now, and she'll just crack up laughing. She's like, they're just normal little kids, you have to deal with
that's
it.
That's what you want.
Yes.
Yeah, so you feel lucky, but man, you're exhausted. These girls are just...
Exactly. They are full of orneriness.
Yeah, there's the smile. Yep, she's pretty much right on that one.
Yes.
Any favorite therapists or doctors that you want to say hi
Girls
to?
know who your favorite therapist is? Who are you going to go see in a couple minutes? Can you say Miss Arena?
Yeah.
No, they aren't going to talk. But yes, Arena, they go see here.
We've
and they
heard
get
her name a few times.
Very excited with her. And we used to see Susan, the speech therapist, here, and whenever they see her in the hallway or out there, they still recognize her and wave at her and are glad to see her and everything. And Dr. Kano, we have not forgot him. He was the NICU doctor, and the girls still pull out pictures of him, and we still go back and visit the NICU nurses. And after 4 months up there, you just get attached to a lot of them.
I imagine.
And all these years, and they've moved along so well, do you still think back to that first day when you just didn't know what would happen?
Right. And I wasn't even able to see them the first day because I had just had the cesarean and all, and I remember the next day when they took me up, my husband, and seeing how tiny they were, and Abby was only 10 inches, and not even a pound and stuff, and then that's when I get mad at them now when, they've colored on the walls with crayons or something like that. I have to stop back. I take a step back and I remember where they came from. And I'm like, okay, I can paint the walls again.
Wait a minute, what are you laughing at? You got about 2 years and then it starts, my friend.
I know.
It's coming. It's coming.
I'm waiting.
Well, you know what? No offense, but we really expect to see you every year now at the Radiothon because we want these updates on these great girls. We've seen you from the beginning.
Yep.
So.
They get excited. They listen to it, and they're like, oh, that's where we're going.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming out, too, and showing people firsthand, the therapies that you talk about, all the time spent in the NICU. We have all of these therapies and facilities and machines because of donations from people just like you. So with your support, miracles happen. You can call the Carpenters Local 16 phone bank right now, 544-KIDS, to make your donation.